I have spent the last 10 years of my life learning different foreign languages such as French, English, Chinese, Spanish, ASL. And one thing that all of my experiences had in common is that I could barely understand native speakers at the very beginning. Who am I kidding? I still don't understand what this guy says here.
Looking for a dog. Yes, got your dog. That's your brilliant theory. Shashalashia. Good. Excellent. Yes, where should we start?
So that's why I decided to make this video. We're going to talk about why you don't understand native speakers, and I will give you a few actionable tips that hopefully will help you fix this situation. Number 1, speed of speech. So the first obvious reason is the speed of speech. Native speakers talk fast, and there's nothing we can do about it.
You know, like I know I'm doing what I want to do if it freaks them out. And then I thought, what if I don't want to do what I want to do because I want to do it, but because they don't want me to?
If you think about the way you speak your native language, you're probably talking extremely fast too. When I speak Russian, I'm like a chatterbox. I talk extremely fast. I'm pretty sure if a person who's learning Russian is going to listen to me speak Russian, they're gonna be like, why? Why have I chosen to study Russian? Of course, this rapid pace can make it difficult for us language learners to process and understand every single word. So the solution I can give you here is the following. If you have this problem when you watch movies and shows, I would highly recommend turning on subtitles. There is absolutely nothing wrong about using subtitles. In fact, they can be very beneficial and help your comprehension a lot. Guys, even my American friends, native speakers of English, okay? Native speakers of English use English subtitles when they watch something in English. For me, when I first learned about that, I was like, interesting? Why? Because it's not something that we normally do in Russian. It's not very common, but I guess in every single culture, in every single language, it's a little bit different. And actually, even if you're a native speaker and you're watching something in your native language, using subtitles is extremely beneficial. I also recommend checking out this video I posted a few months ago that already has almost 1 million views, which is crazy by the way, but there I talk about whether you should be using subtitles while watching movies and TV shows. Another solution is to just slow down everything you're listening to. Start with slower recordings and work your way up to faster ones as you become more and more comfortable. Do it gradually. Yes, at the beginning, it's difficult to understand native speakers. Every single language learner has this problem. So don't worry about it and just keep on practicing. The second reason is slang and informal language. When I think about slang and informal language, I immediately think about the show Breaking Bad. And when I decided to watch it, when I would say at about intermediate in English, and I was like, yeah, it's a good idea for me to watch Breaking Bad right now. I was so wrong.
And let me tell you something else. This ain't chemistry, okay? This is art.
Oh.
Cooking is art, and the shit I cook is the bomb, so don't be telling me.
You cook.
Yes, native speakers swear a lot. They use slang and informal expressions that language learners just never learn in class. So the solution I came up for myself here is making sure that I expose myself to authentic materials as often and as much as I can. What are authentic materials, you might ask me? It's a great question, by the way. Authentic materials are basically something that was created for native speakers, like movies and show and different podcasts in your target language. And also make sure that you're staying very active when you're listening to something. You know, don't just put it in the background and forget about it. Of course, nothing is gonna happen. You're not gonna improve your listening skills this way. I know that when I cook and I listen to a podcast, oftentimes I don't have maybe enough time, or I don't have access to my phone because my hands are wet, for example. So I use Siri, right? I ask her or it's AI, I don't know. Basically, I ask Siri to help me to save this word because I want to memorize it later. And so if you hear a new phrase, an expression you like, don't hesitate to write it down and think about how you can use it in your conversations, how you can use it in real life. Is it relevant to you? If you never swear and someone used a cool expression with swearing, I mean, I guess understanding it is great, but don't bother actually trying to come up with all these crazy sentences, because I barely swear in my native language, I barely swear in English, and I know here in Mexico City, a lot of people swear a lot. So for me, just understanding what those expressions mean is enough. I don't need to actually use them myself. I think understanding all these reasons is obviously important, but working on your listening skills, learning new vocabulary, getting used to the way native speakers communicate with each other is far more important. And I'm really happy to tell you guys that there is an amazing resource that can help you do just that. And it's Lingopie. And I want to say a huge thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. Lingopie is a platform where you can learn foreign languages by watching original TV shows, movies, music videos, and Netflix originals. With just one subscription, you can learn 9 different languages, such as Spanish, French, German, Italian, Russian, Portuguese, Japanese, Korean, and Chinese. The show I'm currently watching on Lingopie is called Insanely Jess, and it's so much fun. If any of you guys are learning Spanish, I highly recommend checking out this show right now. All shows on Lingopie come with 2 sets of subtitles. You can click on any word to get an instant translation. The more you watch, the more you learn. You can also save new words and create interactive flashcards out of them to review later. To memorize new vocabulary even more effectively, Lingopie creates quizzes for you to check your comprehension and make your language learning even more effective. And only for my viewers, Lingopie is offering a 70% discount off their lifetime plan if you decide to subscribe. Just use the link in my description and in my pinned comment. Reason number 3 is difficult accents and dialects. Approximately 20% of the world's population speaks English, which means that around 400 million people speak this language natively, and an additional 1.5 billion who speak it as their second language or their foreign language. And yes, sometimes because of that, we have problems with comprehension, because there are so many different people and every single person has their unique accent, this unique way they pronounce words, their unique dialect and stuff like that.
I don't want it like that ever again, Tom. Not when they don't even want to do it, except for the money.
Just in the United States alone, there are roughly 30 major dialects. So what I can recommend you here is, if you're interested in a specific accent, let's say you're learning Spanish and you want to move to Argentina, so you need to listen to as many people who speak Spanish with this Argentinian accent as possible. Watch movies, watch shows, YouTube videos featuring people from Argentina and actors who speak with this accent. Additionally, you can find language exchange partners or tutors from different regions to practice speaking and listening. I remember how once I got so fascinated with the way people speak English in South Africa. So what I did is I found a tutor who was from South Africa, and I spoke English to him as much as I could because I wanted to learn how to first understand him, ask him different questions about his accent, why he pronounced certain words in a certain way. Obviously, I was not really interested in starting to speak with this accent because I do like to speak more with this standard American accent, but still, I just wanted to talk to a person from South Africa. And fortunately, right now, because of the internet, we can do it pretty easily. The next reason is cultural differences. I know that many of you guys here watching this video love The Office. If yes, please comment down below. I know it is a very popular show, but I personally think that sometimes it's hard to understand because there are a lot of references to American pop culture and media, which can be difficult for non-native speakers to understand.
If I have to do this, based on stereotypes that are totally untrue, that I do not agree with. You would maybe not be a very good driver.
Oh man, am I a woman?
Yes, native speakers joke, reference cultural events, historical figures, or customs that are unfamiliar to us, language learners. I didn't grow up in the United States, so some parts of The Office just went straight over my head. I was like, why is this funny? What is going on? Just because culturally I'm a different person, and it is absolutely okay. So the solution here is you should have been born in that country. Just kidding, guys. Please don't hate on me. But seriously, I honestly don't think it's possible for non-native speakers to learn everything about a culture that you weren't born into and you didn't grow up in. You can of course learn many things by reading books, watching documentaries, and engaging in conversations with native speakers. This way, of course, you will learn a lot. Of course, this will help you understand context and references in conversations, but I still think that you will experience moments when someone made a joke and you were like, why was that funny? Come again? Can you explain it to me, please? Just embrace it. I experience it too. And finally, the reason why you probably don't understand native speakers is because of lack of exposure. You might be spending too much time interacting with scripted or formal language in textbooks, which is not always accurate and doesn't really reflect real-life conversations. If you use TikTok a lot, you have probably heard of Gen Z terms, Gen Z slang, such as no cap.
Do my coworkers understand these Gen Z terms? Let's find out. Do you know what no cap means?
Like, not joking.
Okay, not bad.
I personally use TikTok as a search engine, and on my second channel, I talked about how to use TikTok to not get addicted and to actually get some benefits from it. So as a search engine, and also obviously I'm a creator. I make TikToks, this is my job. I make interesting videos for you guys to enjoy. And when I want to look for something, for example, I don't know, a new lipstick to buy, or what are the most sustainable clothing brands out there, I always use TikToks to find out all of this information and maybe learn new words along the way, because I can type these searches in English, in Spanish, you get the point. And this way I practice the language while learning something else. So I use my language as a tool, right? As a tool to learn something, as a tool to get a new job, as a tool to get new knowledge. Not just because I'm learning Spanish, or not just because, I'm just learning English and that's it. No, for me, it's a lot bigger than that. The solution here is to seek out interesting resources and surround yourself with the language 24/7 or as much as possible. And of course, as I just said, once you start using this language as a tool, you will improve your comprehension a lot. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something new. As a reminder, only for my viewers, Lingopie is offering a 70% discount off their lifetime plan if you decide to subscribe. Just use the link in our description and my pinned comment. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you're thinking about what to watch next, you don't know what to watch, I highly recommend checking out this video right here. Just click right here and continue watching.